football is fast approaching here. I mean, and I am enjoying the general chaos that has arrived with people realizing that if you allow everyone in sports to be around gambling money, people who compete for a living might be competitionaholics and want action in other places, and athletes are going to keep getting ensnared in gambling money things. And I want to offer, and this is not because I'm a shill for DraftKings, I'd like to offer a one-time only exemption to all athletes, no matter how immoral you might think it is to screw with the integrity of games with gambling money. A one-time dispensation, all athlete immunity for what this Iowa kicker is in trouble for. He couldn't stop betting Iowa unders in football, and I believe every American near the gambling money should get the dispensation of being allowed to steal the money involved for free that they're giving away at gambling companies if you just take the Iowa football under. Because the worst case of nepotism anywhere in sports, where a father is just protecting his offensive coordinator bum of a son who everybody wants out in Iowa, but they can't get him out because that coach, again, I'm
sure he works hard.
I'm pretty sure Iowa football has a nepotism problem that everyone in America should be able to cash in on, because America should be about giving the privilege to the white man and the white man's son.
Was Lucy wearing an Iowa sweatshirt all day long, or did she put it on just for this segment?
She has got to enjoy that an Iowa kicker is in trouble, because the details on this, making how many bets, just like a college kid. I ain't got no money, but I'm going to bet it all on Iowa unders. I'm going to make 1,000 bets for $4,000 on my mother's account. Is that what it is?
So there are a ton of athletes actually involved in this. So the Iowa kicker was the only one we know that bet the under. The only one smart enough to place that bet. Look, we at the University of Iowa, we teach you how to make money. Maybe that's getting a job. Maybe that's betting the under as the backup kicker on the football team. We're a world-class university, okay? But more of the egregious bets have actually been seen in players outside of football, like a former Iowa basketball player. His bet totals were in the tens of thousands of range. Iowa State's starting quarterback bet on a game on his parents' account. And this is just the surface level, because there were tons of athletes implicated in this, and it's just nice to be able to talk about Iowa for once. It's just really nice.
Don't you guys believe that basically in college sports, where we're headed, college kids, right? And it's college kids for the new age. So you don't have to respect your grandfather's idea of what college sports is supposed to be. Wouldn't you just assume that basically at this point in college football, gambling is as prevalent as beers? I'm not even kidding you. That guys want to bet however they can bet on games, because college kids like to do things that are fun and dangerous and don't necessarily want to respect yesterday's rules on things. And college football is an entire sham now, as you see realignment, money throwing everywhere. Like why wouldn't they be gambling on everything?
Well, one, it's illegal, so that's probably why they shouldn't do it. Kind of a bummer. I also want to specify that no women athletes did this, because we are simply not dumb enough to do that. This is such an 18-year-old boy thing to do, is to think that you can use your parents' account and get away with it. Why would you ever mess with a sports book? You were going to lose.
I have a lot of questions for the parents, but it also just sort of reminds me how no women were in the submersible. It's on some level, maybe there's something going on up here.
The submersible story is something that we sort of wandered away from the weekend. We were obsessed with it for 3 days, and it was just it blew up? That's good. That's a better way for them to go, for it just blowing up, because the water pressure at the bottom of the sea probably is dangerous.
Still waiting on a graphic to show me exactly how it happened. I want to see.
Oh, you don't believe it?
No, I just want to know what it looks like.
Kaboom.
It's
gone.
An enormous, very fast explosion.
I saw a great TikTok actually as an explanation. We'll get back to Iowa, because I want Lucy to have. I want you to go in depth on this. This is your time. But I'll send it to you. It's just an aluminum can heating up in water, and then they put it over the stove. I don't remember what it was, but it just goes like collapses in on itself.
How's it go? Got it.
Lucy, take it away.
Wait, hold on. You haven't seen the graphic because like I saw a graphic where like that it was like I guess like a cartoon version or whatever where that happened, and then like they went to the detail of then having like little red come out of it, and I was like unnecessary.
No. But like
we didn't need to have.
I guess
the graphic
my question
of, like, blood
is,
come out of it.
Billy, my question is, was it like mangled or was it just like complete vaporized?
Vaporized except for the steel nose and tail components, Amin. The carbon fiber does not hold up under pressure, although it does exceedingly well if you pressurize it from the inside.
Now, when you say carbon fiber, are you talking about the bodies or are you talking about the carbon fibers that were used in the building of the submersible?
Not necessary.
Submersible.
I'm trying to get clarification. I want to know what happened to the bodies. I don't care what happened to the submersible.
Oh.
Like, were there body bits? Or is it just vapor?
Why are you doing this? I think it was enough with just a mist of blood coming out after the thing. Like, what are you doing?
I'm asking a question, Dan.
But why?
It's called journalism.
Well, is that what it is?
You call that journalism? What you just did? Again with the glass of water. Again.
Are we at your house? Where did you even get that glass of water?
Amin is one of the stars of Oddball. He's one of the many regrets Metal Arc Media has as a hire.
Wow.
That's where I'm drawing the line. Regrets? I've been doing 17 shows a week, and I'm a regret.
This is what I'm going to do right now based on what it is that he just did, a little too close to the truth. I'm going to send Amin away. There is across the street, there's a bus. It's
raining.
Fine, it's raining. It's the one bus that doesn't have Lionel Messi on it. It's for a realtor called Larry Lechuga, which I thought was a fake name. Larry Lettuce.
That's not a real name.
No, you say it's not a real name, but what I'm telling you is there's a bus down there. I don't know what the guy does, but he's advertising for Larry Lechuga, and it's Larry Lettuce in Spanish.
What?
And I want Amin to go stand by that side as punishment for that's where I draw the line. Go bleep yourself.
Whoa!
Get out of here. You just did. Oddball is a new show that he has with the real star. Go. Charlotte Wilder.
No.
The real star of the show, Charlotte Wilder. The real true Metal Arc talent that is going to carry his drunk ass to great riches.
Oh, jeez.
Because this show is strange. It's a strange.
Morgan from Australia said to give you a hug, Dan.
Larry Lechuga can't be a real name.
Probably not.
But if it is, the foresight of the fact that his parents went with it and were like, Larry. You know?
It's a good name for a food truck.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Is Larry Lechuga a good name for a food truck? Can you get for me the sounds, please? 2 sounds. But we'll get back to Iowa football in a second and the gambling scandal. But the sound that Charlotte just made a moment ago, paired with the sound that Terrence Crawford made when Billy dared to say to Terrence Crawford that he's too slow to catch a fly. And the fear that swept through this room, I just want to relive that sound because, Billy, you were trying to hide from me. You got scared. You pushed the boundary too far and you pissed off a champion. And the sound that he made frightened me for you.
Sometimes I don't realize what stays in my head and what comes out of my mouth.
Charlotte, I would like your help here as someone fast rising in the company as the star of Oddball, carrying the carcass of that drunk Amin El Hassan all over the place. I have an assortment of things that I wish to go to, one of which includes Amin is now really mad because it's very hot outside and Larry Lechuga is not close by. I have sent him far away in the heat because I am annoyed, just generally speaking, by everything happening at Metal Arc Media.
Are you 100% sure that this is a real billboard that you've seen? Because obviously you have a lot going on and it's possible that maybe things, because like I've Googled Larry Lechuga and the closest I've found is Lucas Lechuga, who's a high-end real estate agent.
Well, maybe
in
that's
Miami.
him then. Maybe
because like I'm wondering if you sent
Fine,
Amin
give me
to
that money.
something that does not exists.
No, thank you for doing that. That's a $5 fine. I did get it wrong. It was.
Is it Lucas?
Yes.
Okay, well then he's going to be out there forever.
Okay, that's fine. I want him standing near that sign, but that isn't the best content we have to go to because these are the choices right now, and I need you to help me choose what is the right one. We have the sound that you made. We have the sound that Terrence Crawford made that scared Billy. We have a lot of sound from Stugotz doing an assortment of dumb things on WFAN, including, evidently, he had to call from outside because he got locked out, and he called the host. The host answered on air, and evidently the first thing Stugotz did on WFAN is say the word bleep, the F word. It's like one of the first things that he did upon arriving there on air because, of course, he's a fool, and we have that sound. But this Iowa story, it's not just that Lucy wants to talk about this story and smoke is coming out of her ears. Like, she is crazed right now by what she's reading. I have to present to the audience, because I'm assuming they've not been following Iowa football or in general what has happened with the absurdity of all of college football's business changing, but the Ferentzes, mother bleeper, are going to run Iowa football the way they want, even though the following is true and not an act of fiction. In the wake of George Floyd, Kirk Ferentz, who couldn't be more solidly entrenched in Iowa as a power person because his teams win 9-3, and they have for decades, and Iowa football doesn't matter. But look at how valuable college football is. And his strength coach is kind of racist, and Iowa players have been saying for a long time, holy shit, this place is kind of racist. So after George Floyd, Kirk Ferentz puts together an advisory committee, 10 people, tell me what you think, diversity. We're going to have it around here. And the lead of that committee is a former Iowa offensive lineman who is black and suggests, what Ferentz needs to do is go. Our advice, my advice as the leader, is Ferentz is the problem. Get him out of here. Ferentz dissolves the committee. Don't need a committee anymore. Thanks for your thoughts. Diversity. Ha! My son's the offensive coordinator. Why? Because he can get me 3 field goals.
That's a stretch. 3 field goals, Dan? Really? Give us 2.
Even the kicker bet the under.
That story I just said is true. It's not fiction. Ferentz still runs this town because he can go 8-4 in Iowa. And his son is no good.
More like offensive coordinator.
And so that is your backstory. What are you reading now from The Athletic, Lucy? But I want to go to it. But Charlotte, please choose for us. What's the best thing to go to?
Definitely Lucy talking about sports of substance and not the sound that I or Billy or Stu made. Please, for the love of content, go to Lucy.
Roy, why are you shaking your head?
You're just going to breeze by that one, huh? Offensive coordinator. You're just going to breeze right there. You didn't, not even a response. Now, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. I'm talking to Dan.
You can't be in control of that sounder when you're the one making the
Chris,
bad
do
joke.
not play that sound.
Let's go to this sound that Lucy made earlier. What was this? I'm sorry, that Charlotte made earlier. What was the sound and what was the context?
It was the sound that a tin can makes when it implodes on itself, Dan. If you could stop, that would be awesome.
It's not pleasant.
Sounds like a cartoon.
I hate everything about it, and I did it. So Lucy, with Iowa football, do you find that?
Let me find the Crawford sound because Billy.
I wish you had weekend observations today.
Billy, you.
Dan.
This is the sound of a submersible. These are human bodies being.
No. Don't. No. It's the sound of a tin can demonstrating what could have possibly happened to the submersible.
It's the sound of somebody biting lettuce.
Larry Lechuga.
Lucy, how mad are you right now?
On a scale of 9 to 10, 10. Wow. I only gave 2 options because I am not happy. It was, I don't want to call it a puff piece because it wasn't, but it was like a Brian Ferentz feel bad for me piece where he's like, hey, I can't pick my dad. Okay, you choose to be there every day. He's like, all I want to do is do my job, and I'm not going to do anything that embarrasses this program. Everything you do is an embarrassment. Everything you do. We shouldn't talk about Iowa football ever, but because you're so bad, we do. Players are betting against you. They literally see you every day at practice, and they say, you know what? I'm going to take that under, and it hits every time. It hits every single time.
Their parents are
I am so unwell. This is the worst version of me, Dan. Thanks for bringing this out.
I won't. I mean, but this is pretty.
I can't.
Okay, we got to put all these sounds together now. Billy, how are you feeling?
I'm chill.
Terrence Crawford. This was the context for this. Is you told him, man, we should play the entirety of the sound because from the shadows you told him, and he hadn't heard from you very much during the interview, that you didn't think that he was fast enough to be able to catch a fly with his hands.
No. Not how that happened, exactly.
I imagine he's got his hands so quick he could just catch a fly, though.
Yeah.
Evidently not.
He heard you, and you didn't think he was going to hear you. You were making a joke for the audience, and the champ heard you.
Well, because you guys were saying that there was this fly flying around his car, and he couldn't get it. And, listen, I minored in journalism. I like to stick to the facts. There's a fly flying around his car. The man has not caught that fly.
Billy's face after he realized he'd said it
Out
was
loud, yeah.
one of the funniest. He became a turtle. His neck just disappeared as he sank into his own body.
That is the sound your head made as it collapsed into your body. It happened very quickly. You know what? It was. Thank you. I don't know. I really honestly don't know how Charlotte saw the same thing I saw, which is Billy, after years of rolling grenades across the floor and having no one hear him.
Helpful information.
Except for the Guillermo Mafia who loves him because they're like, we heard that joke, Billy, and they didn't hear it. The rest of them didn't hear it. The champ heard it, and what I saw, Billy generally tries to hide behind Chris Cody because he doesn't want me to see how he's trying to ruin the show. But I saw him, I made eye contact with him. He's like, oh, the champ saw me, Dan. And then his face shrunk and tried to hide in his sweatshirt.
Well, yeah, because you're supposed to keep things moving so he doesn't hear it, You kind of really put me in a bad spot there. Where's Amin? Is he just walking around outside?
He just asked me to have the show Zoom sent to him.
Oh, the show Zoom is being sent to him. We're going to go to live and bitter. There's Lucas Lechuga right there. Right there. You told me Lucas Lechuga didn't exist, but he is.
No, Dan. We said Larry Lechuga didn't exist, which he doesn't. I mean, he might somewhere.
Maybe he goes by Larry.
Still need that fine money.
No, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
It's $5. Thank you, Roy.
You got it.
Are you sure Roy isn't the one who stole the fine bucket?
No.
Hey, Charlotte.
Yes?
What?
Oh, wait. I don't know. Don't do this to me right now because I don't know whether we can hear Amin, whether Amin can hear us. We'll go to him next segment and see if we can talk to Amin. In the interim, Chris Cody, what are the reports you're getting from Stugotz on WFAN? Has he embarrassed us?
But that has happened to me several times throughout my career, where guys just rise or ascend, or I rise and ascend, and I forget about the little people.
Right, of course. Yeah, right. I just stop. Yeah, I forget about you. You're no longer important to me. Can't help me anymore.
You already helped me. Yeah. Thanks for the help. Right, exactly. I got to find the next person who can help me. Climb a little higher.
Right. By the way, do you know this guy? No? Then screw you. I really don't need I really don't need you in my life now.
Billy, how do you feel about what has happened?
That comment,
here?
too close to home, if I'm going to be honest with you. Little too close to home. Can I tell you something that you did to me? Let me not. I'll tell you off air.
No, please go ahead and tell me now. Tell me now.
He wants to, on God Bless Football, re-air the interview that he did with the Giants GM. So I made sure to talk to people to be like, we cannot do that.
Just lazily, I did content on
Well,
FAN.
he's like, it's good. He hasn't spoken to Saquon yet, and we can get that. I'm like, well, you already got that, and that already aired elsewhere. 2 different places, actually, on radio and on television. So we can't just put that on our air because there's
for someone
people
else.
own those rights.
You're working for someone else.
Well, I haven't told him that yet. I just Let's talk at 11:30.
But he's trying to bake over leftover goods and throwing it on God Bless Football.
Well, and position it as, buddy, you're going to be so happy when you hear this. You're so happy with me. Guess what I did for us?
The Yankees, they're 10 out in the AL East. If I'm sitting around with Giannotti talking Yankees for 4 hours, I'm going to stab myself in the eyes.
Like your boy Guillermo, too, as I'm watching you guys. He's like, wait, have you watched any New York baseball? Are you prepping for any? Like, what? What do you think we're going to do?
I watched opening day.
So I'm going on New York radio. I haven't prepped anything.
I watched opening day.
Yankees are in last place, sole possession of last place. For the first time since 1990, this late in the season, Drake is coming out with Aaron Judge and with Stanton.
So Gio knows me, huh? Yeah. How about that?
What is he doing? He is cheapening our name and brand on New York radio by just being the laziest version of the laziest person in the history of sports radio.
And he'll probably get invited back. Is how this is going to end, right? Like, he's probably going to be back in like 2 weeks over there.
He deploys that charming laugh, and here we are.
That's all that you need. It really is all you need in sports radio. Is just, and he doesn't.
Yeah, look at me. How am I here?
He doesn't even protect that charming laugh. It's soaked in cigarettes.
That's why you're here.
That is why you're here. Oddball with Charlotte Wilder
and Amin Al-Hassan.
If you've been listening to the show this week, I think you know that I am in a very vulnerable emotional state. I probably should not be working. I should probably apologize to you in advance for whatever it is that the rest of this month brings, because I have to go properly grieve the death of someone who I regard as both always my little brother, always a kid. I always saw him as a kid. But I also feel like I raised him a bit, so the amount of pain that I am in shouldn't be working right now. But in the middle of that, I have genuine chaos trying to run our company because I can't control anything, actually. And Stugotz is a scumbag and is working for WFAN now. And it evidently started with an F-bomb. The guy who's entitled to run media at a great salary and not come and earn his salary here in a time of need. This is where it began.
Stugotz is here.
Great. Maybe he can come in and agree with all of your points.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Are you here in the building?
345 Hudson?
Yes, sir.
Is it like a Chase bank?
There it is. I knew that was
Dump that, Eddie.
I was going to say, you might want to tell him he's on the
I have
radio.
you on the radio. I'm on the air right now.
Okay, excellent work. So he started by an F-bomb on WFAN. Just perfect, right? Just perfect.
And Billy's not here. Where's Amin? What's
well,
going
Billy
on right
is
now?
trying to corral. This is another problem I have with Amin, though, who has already threatened that Oddball is being taken over by Charlotte, and it should be, because she's a genuine star.
No. Amin's great. We're working so well together. Please don't mess it up, Dan.
And Amin is mad at me right now because he thinks he controls the company as well. I was trying to take a call right now for arrangements for things that need to be handled in my family. And Amin's like, hey, Dan, I've been in the heat for too long here. I've been in the heat for too long. You have to come out to me. So, Amin, welcome. Wherever it is that you are, you have found Lucas Lechuga?
No, please, play with some more Stugotz clips. I think that's way more compelling than me sitting here and my jeans turning into sous vide as my balls are just soaking at 9,000 degrees.
What a promo, though, for Lucas.
Tell me about, I've sent you out there to do some journalism, some reporting. Tell me all about Lucas Lechuga over there, and this is your punishment for objecting on air.
As cars fly by you.
Tell me paint the scene.
I've been outside for an hour, waiting for you guys to come in. I've been ready. I've been waiting. By the way, the torrential rains earlier knocked out all the traffic lights and stuff. So as I try to cross Biscayne, people are just whizzing by because you can't tell people in Miami that there's no stoplight, but you should stop for pedestrians or whatever. So I get to this stupid sign, which, by the way, is a strong 3 miles north of the building. Like, this is not across the street by any stretch of the imagination.
Such a great ad. It's ridiculous. His name cannot be Lucas Lettuce. It cannot be Lucas Lechuga. That cannot be that man's name. That has to be a stage name so that he can create a real estate hustle here and just sell you swampland because he's Larry Lechuga. Lucas.
Yeah, first of all, you got his name wrong. His name is Lucas. Larry Lechuga sounds like a used car salesman. Lucas Lechuga, look at this guy. That's a classy guy. He sells Lux Living Realty, Lux Living. And his website is whylucas.com. I'm going to tell you why. Because I hear the name Lucas, I think wealth. I think aspiration. I think the best of the best. But you guys are sitting here calling him Larry? Larry, like he's wearing a cheap polyester suit? Ridiculous.
All right, you have served your punishment. It's too far. It was too far and too hot.
Oh, no. Please, let me walk to Edgewater next. Maybe there's a fun billboard over there. You know what, John? Let's start walking. Let's see what we can discover as we walk north on Biscayne. It's 119th Street, but no, we're fine. We got to find some more adventure. Oh, Amin doesn't do metal art, though. I don't see any of you guys out here.
Oddball with the star Charlotte Wilder.
You won't jump in the bed.
No, I'm not out there. Amin's working for this, Dan.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's promote Oddball. Here, Amin, who you're feeling underappreciated. This is what I would like to do, because people do need to understand. I do make fun of Amin, but I believe his basketball analysis is as solid as any you'll find anywhere, and I like his entertainment. I really like his entertainment, always willing to be the fool around here. But Oddball has tackled or is about to tackle a story I didn't understand how to tackle, in which I saw that LeBron James's school was shamed for math scores and was weaponized because evidently, the narrative of athlete is trying to actually help a community that can use some help with the act of giving a school. Let's mock the school because it hasn't graduated in math any students. They're not teaching well, or whatever the judgments are that can be made about LeBron James trying to do a good thing and being shamed in today's America for it. You guys, what? I mean, you're mad because of the noise around there?
Long setup for this promo.
Yes, well, because I want to know what they're talking about. What? I mean, I didn't promote you correctly?
Yeah, no, first of all, yes, you promoted a segment that we haven't done yet. Thanks a lot. You asked me, hey, what do you think about this? And I said, hey, man, we're trying to set up some interviews. We're trying to get to the bottom of this. We're trying to do this right. And you literally just go and tell everybody, oh, this is what they've been working on, by the way.
Yeah, we're like
just rich. By the way, I'm about to go to Duffy's.
Ooh, Duffy's, all right.
We're over here trying to set up interviews with experts, and Dan's like, let us know.
Well, I want to be able to talk about this intelligently, and I didn't.
Well, you just did.
No, I didn't know what to do with the story because I'm assuming, okay, this is what I'm starting for. I'm starting on this story. LeBron James tries to do an amazing thing. He's trying to build a school to teach kids math, but they're failing. They're failing math. And none of them are passing. And it's an easy way to mock LeBron James. And so I thought people around me in this time of need had researched this more than me and could explain to me if there were some cultural biases at play. Is it just shitty teaching? Is it that disadvantaged kids are in a disadvantage of it's hard to learn things that are biased? I don't know what layers to this story I'm missing.
Seems like all that to me.
Well, I think...
Yeah, it seems like all that to me. This is an indictment on the educational system in this country. That's just my opinion on this.
The I Promise School takes literally kids who tested in the bottom 20%, right? So it's not like a regular inner city school that has kids that don't test well and then might have some kids that test great. They're literally taking the kids that the education system has given up on, and they're trying to get them up to speed. So the measures of success for them can't be the same as it is for a regular public school, because these kids don't have the cover or the subsidy of kids that are doing well in school.
Right. And also there's so many ways you can interpret the numbers that they delivered against other schools or charter schools. And it takes, we want to talk to someone who really knows this stuff and has studied this and understands where these statistical discrepancies could be, because right now, I look at these numbers as someone who tells jokes about sports, and I'm like, I feel like there are tons of layers here, and I don't even know what those layers are quite yet.
I mean, I am very much here for the new character. Amin goes societal on your ass while walking to a bar through traffic on Biscayne without traffic lights. If you want to give me some other profundity while trying to to cross the street on any subject matter of your choosing, you could prove your worth to Meadowlark Media here.
Well, first of all, prove my worth? Jesus Christ. And you guys only have me working on every show on the network. I'm surprised I don't work for Gojo. Might as well do something with him, too.
Cinephile's available if you...
Montgomery and Company.
Cinephile, Montgomery and Company. John, don't get hit by a car.
Because Miami?
Hold on.
Jesus, be careful.
We can all agree it would be more alarming if they were passing kids to save face. Like, it feels like they're being honest with the results, and yeah, it's a tough thing to talk about, but it would be a bigger story if they were passing kids just to save face. Like, they're being honest at least.
I mean, you're...
They can't...
Sorry, go ahead.
You can't do that because these are standardized state testing. So it's not like the school is testing their kids and self-reporting.
LeBron's got power, though. If he wanted those results changed, I mean, come on.
I mean, you're on the entire back LED screen. It looks awesome.
That's great, man.
I'm so happy that as my internal body temperature reaches 112 degrees, you guys get to watch it real time.
Thank you so much.
Can we talk about Steph Curry?
I mean, what I would like for you to
boring
do...
documentary, and he's a boring person.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
All right, yes. Okay, fine.
Is that a newsflash?
No, yes. Wait a minute. Amin says sacrilegious things about a modern-day icon while walking through traffic on his way to a bar. Go.
Yeah, Steph Curry, great player, boring guy. And his documentary was boring as hell. And it was basically about college. And that's cool, but I didn't want to know about Steph Curry in college. I want to know Steph Curry as a kid, and I want to know Steph Curry as an NBA player. Oh, and by the way, if you're telling people about how hard your route was to the NBA, like, you might want to mention that your dad was an NBA player. Just throw that in there. Just maybe Av Hannon. And also, you got a brother who plays in the NBA? Do we want to talk to him, or... Nah, that's fine. Now sit this one out, Seth. We don't need to even know that you exist. Boring.
I can't believe that shocking take from Amin El-Hassan. You are a league ambassador. You're supposed to love your sport. You went viral yesterday. You got aggregated because you're like, stop on the NBA. And here's Steph Curry, adorable athlete for the modern times. And you said all he does is make boring and is boring while walking to a bar.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about his basketball. I support his basketball. I love his basketball. His basketball is very exciting. But his content making? F.
Oh, what an F. An F, he says, while walking past a garage of some sort.
When's the last time you saw a Steph Curry interview that was funny or engaging or interesting or different? Or, hey, here's one where he changes the tone of his voice. Like, where he's not just talking like this the whole time, like I just took a Percocet and perhaps a Xanax, but I'm going to fight it while I talk to you about all the answers to your questions. My name's Steph Curry, and even the way I talk puts me to sleep.
Oh, enough. Jesus. I just wanted you to have a swampy nether region.
Mission accomplished.